Hello, what's up guys, I'm Kyle from KGR, and today we're going to be taking a look at the classic Sonic Eggmobile battle set. Now, I pre-ordered this on Amazon back in like February, and when they had the listing, it was just the name, and no pictures, a price, and maybe a bio. I didn't check. But from the name alone, the Eggmobile battle set, I knew this thing was going to be sick. Because at this time, I had the Death Egg Robot playset, and I thought that thing was so cool. So Eggmobile has to be just as amazing and fun. But I didn't know if it was based on classic Sonic or modern Sonic. I should have knew that it was classic Sonic, but I was just excited for a new Sonic set, so I pre-ordered it immediately. So I pre-ordered this in February, and now we're getting it in September. It's quite a long time, but I'm patient, kinda. So, judging from the bright box from this ring light, so we got the Eggmobile, an Eggman, and we also get an exclusive Sonic figure in here, and in a pose I haven't seen on any other set so far. And as you can tell from the side of the box, these are the different modes that the Eggmobile is supposed to go into. Then down here we get a small picture of what the gimmick is, but they show it on the back side, so I'll just show that later. And then on the side, it shows the different modes he goes in, and then the gimmick again, and then the back, more of the same. We get to see everything that he comes with and what the scale is mostly going to be. It's going to be in a 2.5-inch scale figures because they advertise those on the bottom of here as well. It's only the 2.5-inch figures that get the play sets. And I love the way the Sonic figure looks on here, especially the way his face looks, because it just kind of reminds me of like the newer animations that we see on YouTube now. And so the gimmick of this is here you customize your Eggmobile. You can make it be any boss or even create your own if you want. And then you get Sonic and like place him on the windshield and like press on it, and that ends up releasing all the pieces on the Eggmobile and turns it back to the standard Eggmobile, just like in the classic games. So when I found out what the gimmick was after pictures finally came out, I fell in love with this thing. I had to get this thing. And plus it comes on this cool little base too, so like it's gonna look fantastic on the shelf. So let's go. Then on the side of the box we got a render of Sonic, and we get a Sonic logo on top, and legal mumbo jumbo, as well as like a little checklist on like everything that comes in this box. This thing is supposed to retail for about like 40 bucks, I believe, but since I pre-ordered it from Amazon a while ago, I think I got it for like 5 bucks cheaper. So I paid like 35 something after tax and stuff. So, let's open this up and see what's all inside. And here's everything that it all comes with. Over here is all the accessories. Then we got the Eggmobile on its base, and then we got Eggman and Sonic. Now, both of these figures, as far as I'm aware, are actually unique to this set. There have been classic Eggman figures in the past, but this one's been modified a bit so it could fit in the Eggmobile a lot better. So with this Eggman, he has indents under his arms as well as above his legs. So everything can crouch in easier and make him fit in his egg pod a lot easier. And then this Sonic definitely looks a lot different from what we saw on the front of the box, but I do like the way this one looks a lot. It kind of gives me the vibe of like Sonic Forces, or the way Sonic normally looks in like Sonic Frontiers. So I hope we get a modern version of this angry look, because I think it would look fantastic, especially to go alongside Sonic Frontiers. But when you get the Eggmobile, it comes apart separately. So this base, it all comes apart, but it's a little nerve-wracking to take everything on and off. So if you want to use the Eggmobile and like want to use this as an arm to extend everything and make it look a little bit more convincing, and you just want to have more fun with it, I guess you can do that. I don't think it's advertised to do that, but hey, you can do that if you want. But taking this Eggmobile on and off the base, it takes a lot of pressure, and it's kind of nerve-wracking. Let me go over the base real quick. So there is like a little stem that like makes it so you can't make this go down even further. I don't like that. I absolutely hate that about this stand. I guess they did that for future proofing, so once the tension in this joint wears off, it doesn't just fall down. So I guess it's good for future proofing, but I generally wish it had more range, especially I've been using Figma stands for almost 10 years now. I think bases and stands have gotten pretty standard at this point, so the fact that they have that now is like this is kind of weird. And this little mark, I don't fully understand this. I guess it's just like a little handle, but I don't understand why we need that, but fine. But yeah, you hear a little snap when you force it through. Doing this for the first time was very infuriating. and it caused a lot of tension, and I was scared I was going to break this thing. But no, you should be fine. But then, Eggman just fits in here, and bing bada boom. That's how it looks in the Eggmobile, in the Egg Pod, whatever you want to call this thing. This thing's sick. Now, you can customize this any way you want. You can go as simple as like the first boss, just attaching that to the bottom. Which, by the way, I kind of wish this thing had a little bit more height to it, so this just didn't hit the base. Or you can go a little bit more advanced. You can set him up with the drill if you want. So you attach both of these on each side. I'll be real with you, I didn't memorize what all parts go to which part to like make it that certain theme, so I gotta get a manual or a box or something. I'll be right back. Okay, for the drill we need this piece that just attaches right there, perfect. And then we need this back piece, and then this goes on top of that. It just clicks into place, and the box falls, and then we just attach that right there, and there we go. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I missed a part. We need this bottom plate down here and one of the 3 flame effects. And then that just clicks right down here. There we go. I love this mode in particular, because hold on, let me get this off this base real quick. Because it kind of reminds me of Sonic Adventure, like one of the first Eggman fights that you do is Sonic or Tails. And he's like, all systems, full power, and then just like digs into the ground.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time.
It's not exactly that, but it is close enough. Which, that had me thinking. Can any other Eggman figure fit in this thing? No. Not that I've seen. The other figures that I have are like the Jakks movie Robotniks, and they don't fit. Either the little 2.5-inch one is just super tiny and just fits loosely in there and just doesn't scale well. Or the 4-inch one just stands too tall in it, no matter how much you bend his knees and make him squat or even like bend it all the way back. It just doesn't work in this, okay? So the gimmick is that you take your Sonic, okay, and you gotta get him in a pose where he's like about to step on this thing, okay? And he's mad. He's very mad, as you can tell. And then you get him, and then you slam him onto the windshield, and bam! Everything just falls off. On paper, this thing is amazing. On paper. This piece, on the other hand, you gotta take that off yourself. It latches in really easily, but comes off kind of awkwardly. Now, like I said, on paper, everything sounds amazing, but there are a lot of things that I feel like they misstepped on, and some things just weren't necessary. But before I show you or tell you what I don't like about this thing, let me at least show off all the different Eggmobile modes. And I feel like I'm going to screw them up, so thankfully we have an instruction manual in here, and it tells us what each mode is called. So obviously you have your first standard Eggmobile, and it looks great, and I love it. And then if you attach the ball on the bottom, you get the Egg Wrecker. This is how I primarily display it, because it's just classic. It's the first Eggman boss fight. And then the next one is the Egg Hammer. Then we have the Egg Digger, and then we also have the Egg Helicopter. And of course, those are all the official modes. You can customize this thing any way you want. If you want to be creative, go ahead, go for it. Make your own Eggman boss fight. Why not? But one thing I do like is here it comes with these little flame effects, because for the longest time you had to use your imagination. So let's pretend that you don't want to use this stand. You pry this thing off and pray that you don't break this thing. The way the flames connect, there's always a different peg system for like each port. So you can just attach it on and they all fit the same. And it's really nice. I like the way that looks a lot. So I didn't think it was necessary for them to do this, but I'm happy they did though. I think it looks great. The nitpick I want to say, like this could be a nitpick, this could be something that you might be really upset about, is the way they show this thing on the box definitely looks a lot different compared to how it is on the final product. Like on the box, I mentioned how the face and everything on this, and even the coloring, looks completely different. Because I thought it was going to more resemble how he looked in like the little animated shorts that are like posted on YouTube. But no, he looks vastly different. Not that that looks bad, it's just a little deceiving. At least on the box. When you see like listings for this on like Amazon or whatever, you see what the thing finally looks like on the final product. But on the Eggmobile, it's lacking a lot of paint details compared to what we have on this box. We have like a silver paint job, like it's supposed to be kind of metallic, and then we have all these little rivets painted black, these little indents painted yellow and stuff like that, and it looks like a great product. However, none of that is there on the final product. So it kind of irritates me that like they're making this thing look like it's supposed to have a metallic finish and look, I don't want to say it looks metal, but like it looks silver and it looks more representative to what you see on screen in the game, and then the final product looks like this, and you don't know that because there's no window display. You're supposed to go off what you see on the cover of this box, and I feel that's a little deceptive, especially if it's just a kid just looking at it in a store, not seeing listings online. Another thing I mentioned, that like normally everything falls apart except for this piece right here. This just wants to stay, and getting it off is a little bit awkward compared to how you're supposed to get it on. So I wish that would fall off, but it is what it is. But the main thing I truly don't like about this thing, besides the stand, is when you defeat Eggman and all of his things come off, yeah, like I said, everything comes off, but he also flies out of his egg pod. I don't think that was necessary at all, because at least when I played the classic Sonic games outside of Mania, he would just stay in there and then just fly away. Kind of can't really do that if Eggman's just flying out of his egg pod. And plus, he would just fall out, and that just risks you breaking his mustache or just scratching him up and stuff like that. It like kind of it annoys me. Like, I don't want to say it ruins the purpose of it, but like it like definitely puts the figure at risk. And it sucks because it's a very good looking figure. Like as much as I don't like the paint job or certain gimmicks about this playset, I still believe Jakks is definitely still the best handler when it comes to Sonic and Mario toys and playsets. I feel like they've been killing it, and they definitely use these licenses very well and get the most bang out of your buck and get the most out of it. And it's really nice compared to what other toy manufacturers we've had. So it disappoints me when it's either lacking paint applications or just doesn't look the same as the final product. I get it. Prototypes typically look different than the final thing, but if it looks vastly different like that, then that's not cool. I don't like that. I want to see if the modern Eggman 2.5-inch figure can fit in this thing, but I don't have that. And I didn't feel like dishing out like $16 to just buy one off eBay or Amazon. But I did want to show you how this would look next to the Death Egg robot if you want to display them both on your shelf. Oh yeah, for some reason on the base you can tilt this left and right, so it's on an angle. I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that. I think it's fine, I guess. I think it works. I wish it was like clicky, like some of the articulations of like some of the Sonic figures, so it's not on a slightly off angle, like it's just at perfect angles. But here he is next to the Death Egg robot. Scaling wise, that's up to you to decide if you think it matches or not. Personally, I think it's fine. I think they look fantastic on a shelf next to each other, and that's how I do it. And if you're wondering if you can use the catapult and the rubber Sonic from this set to work for this, not entirely. The pressing this in requires a lot more pressure than just slightly hitting it with just a rubber Sonic. If I were to customize this thing, besides doing paint jobs that I'm not very good at, the main thing I would want to modify with this thing is actually take this Eggmobile apart and just disable the spring that he sits on, because I don't want him constantly just falling out of his egg pod. Or at least just get rid of the little peg in there that he sits on. So my overall thoughts, I think it's more worth 30 bucks than the 40, because it is a cool toy. This thing is absolutely awesome. But I feel like if they're going to be asking for that 40 bucks, I feel like we should get much better paint apps, and I wish that gimmick of him falling out of his egg pod wasn't there. And I wish the stand was much better, but it is what it is. But again, you don't have to use the stand exactly the way like this. You can take it off and use it as an arm. You can take it and play with it outside of this stand and add a flame effect if you want to. It comes with 3 of these different flame effects. For what this thing is, it's cool. I think it's worth picking up. Probably not for $40, maybe wait for a sale, or if you have coupons or something, then definitely get it during that. But I wanted this thing to turn out a little bit better than what it came out as. But like, if I would have had this as a kid, I wouldn't have cared. But as an adult collector, it bothers me. But if I would have had this thing as a kid, I would have been going ape. I would have been like so excited playing with this thing. Then I'd also be scared of like losing all the accessories though. But I'm not a kid anymore. I don't know. If it's just a kid getting this thing and they love Sonic, like classic Sonic and stuff like that, especially if they played Sonic Mania, they're gonna absolutely love this thing. So if you're getting it for a child, oh yeah, absolutely recommend this thing. But as in a collector, that's when I say it's not worth the 40 bucks. But yeah, a kid would definitely love this thing. I would love this thing. But since I'm an adult just displaying this thing, I'm just gonna put this in there. And that's it. That's all I'm doing with this thing on my shelf. If you do want to grab this yourself, I will provide links in the description on how you can pick this up. The Amazon listing in particular is going to be an affiliate link, so it helps me out if you buy it from there. But if it's on sale somewhere else, then definitely save some money, get it somewhere else. But I like this thing. I don't love it. Like, it could have been better painted and couldn't fly out of his Eggmobile. If it would have addressed the complaints I had and had all that, then I would have loved this thing, definitely. But I do like this thing a lot, though. It is pretty cool. But let me know in the comments. Do you plan on picking this up yourself? Do you plan on picking it up for a child or something? And there's a question of the day. I want to ask you, where did these boss fights come from besides this one? Because I want to guess the other ones probably, I think they all came from Sonic Mania or something, because I didn't really play much of Sonic Mania. I probably should play it again. Maybe I'll play it on stream sometime. How about that? Yeah, we'll do that. So if you want to watch me play Sonic Mania on stream, make sure you follow me. But until then, we're just going to look at toys on a shelf. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. Again, let me know in the comments if you're picking this up. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. So peace, peace.